on, is making these 4-minute, 3-4-minute videos to send to people, and getting them a demo, getting an AI demo into their hands. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Yeah, I do got it listed here. But those are the two things that some of you are doing well and some of you aren't doing. And we really need to work on that, because that's what's going to close people for you, is getting the little demo videos into their hands, and because it sparks them. And then, I mean, getting a demo into their hands and then following up with the video. So anyway, I'm just going to go down my list here and go from there. So I talked about this once before. I think I did a couple of weeks ago, like a little sound bite. And what the 5 sound bites are, and these, I didn't make these up. I just configured them for us. But they're made by a guy named Donald Miller. And I'd really like you guys each to go watch this video when you can. And, you know, and I'm even going to copy, hold on a second, and put it in here so I remember to post about it later. But what the sound bites are, they're not 5 steps to a sale, but they're 5, he calls them sound bites, but they're 5 general things that we can do to lead somebody from when they first, to get someone's attention, is really what the sound bites are made for. And the way it works is you point out their problem. Every person you talk to, your initial, not your initial outreach. Your initial outreach is usually just starting a conversation. Hi, how you doing? I saw you posted. It was really good, or whatever it is. Don't forget to personalize that first little bit of outreach, right? Unless something else is working for you. But you don't want to tell them, well, we make websites, we do AI, we get reviews. We want to tell them what the results to them are, right? And it's okay to tell them we build websites, but we build websites because having a website is going to get you found more on Google, in the AI search, and in the voice search on Siri and on Alexa and that type of thing. But so we start with the problem, and for the websites, our problem can be: have you ever worried about getting jobs? A plumber or a new gutter cleaning company, they don't lay in bed in the morning thinking, "Oh, I wish I had a new website." They don't lay in bed at night having trouble falling asleep thinking, "Oh my gosh, if only I had a website, my business would be better." They don't think that way. They think, "Oh my God, if only I could find some way to get me 3 more clients a week." That's what they think about. They don't think about, "Oh man, if only I had an AI voice chat." They think, "I need more customers. How do I get more customers?" So that's what we need to point out to them. Okay. So in this case, have you ever worried about getting jobs? That's the pain. And then you show empathy. We know how it feels. And a good line for that you guys can use compared to all these newbie agencies out there. We know how it feels because our agency's been in business since 2012. We've helped so many different people in your shoes. It gives you credibility, and it still shows empathy. We know how you feel, right? Well, the answer, tossing them a rope, and I'll explain that, is you need to get yourself an interactive living website. And tossing them a rope. The way that Donald teaches this is when you think about every movie, right? Every big hit movie, maybe not every TV show, but every big hit movie, every novel, right? If you're a reader and you read novels, there's a problem. There's the hero, and the hero has some kind of problem, right? So use the example. There's a hero, and he's got a nice, loving family. And then the hero falls in a hole, and the hero can't get out of the hole, and he's going to starve to death, and he's going to die in the hole, right? And then something comes along to save the hero. It's either something he does himself or something that somebody else, maybe somebody else comes along, and they throw him a rope. And that's why I put here, throwing them a rope. That's what's going to save them. What's going to save them? That's the answer, right? You know, he's a great hero. Everybody loves him. He fell in the hole. Well, it's the same thing with us. It's a potential, it's a good plumbing company. They do great work, but they don't have enough work. That's their hole, right? He's got to pay his employees even when they're not working. And he's afraid he's going to have to go out of business. That's his hole. Well, giving him that interactive website, that's the rope. That's what's going to pull him out of that hole. That's what he lays in bed at night thinking about. You know, not, boy, I wish I could automate my reviews. He thinks about, I need to get more reviews because that's what Google wants, right? And here's the change. It helps you find jobs. That's the transformation. And then the end result after the transformation, after working with us, is so you never have to worry about finding jobs again. And you could craft any chat, any cold email, any conversation. I craft my live chats with people kind of around this too. So you point out their pain, you let them know that we know what their pain is. We feel for them. We're going to toss you a rope. We're going to help solve that problem. We're going to help get you out of that hole. This is what it's going to do for you, and this is the problem it's going to solve. And I really hope you guys understand that and how to use these. Now, it's a lot easier said than done, right? It's easy for me to sit here and use it, but let me show you an example. If you look at my LinkedIn here, right? Oops, hold on a second. If you look at my LinkedIn profile, this follows those 5 steps. We build living websites with simple systems that get contractors. Well, let me go a step back first. I started with the sound bites. I should have started with this. You should be able to describe what we do in a sentence, right? If you met somebody on an elevator and they said, "What do you do?" Well, you wouldn't go into, it's called an elevator pitch, right? You know, if you met somebody on a bus, you met somebody in a pub, and they say, "Well, what do you do?" It's not like, well, you know, we do this AI and we do that AI, and we do reviews and we help Google, we boost your, we optimize the Google business profile. That's a snore, right? We build living websites with simple systems that get contractors seen online more often, automate their marketing and save them time so they can stop stressing so much about getting jobs. And you see how it follows these sound bites? Have you ever worried about getting jobs? That's their pain. We know how it feels. Get an interactive living website and let it help you find jobs. And again, watch this video. Donald, it's his business. He builds these for major companies around the world, companies you've heard of. They pay him big money to do it. So watch this video later. But so you see the example. That's kind of what I have here. We build living websites with simple systems that get contractors seen online more often, automate outreach or automate marketing, save time so you stop stressing about getting jobs, and then join our free group, right? School.contractors. We had someone else join that today. Don't forget about that group, guys. It's a good way for you to keep somebody in your world. Anyone you talk to that tells you no, I'm not interested right now. All right, well, you know what? You should go join our group anyways. It's free and you'll learn how to use AI in your business. Send them to school.com/for-contractors. I bet none of you have been doing that. Make sure that you do that, because if someone joins through the group, when they join the group, they ask, "How did I hear about the group?" And I can go in there and look and see who told them about the group. So you'll get the commission. So if it's somebody that you talk to now and they're not interested, but they're in the group and they start seeing our stuff in the group and they buy later, you're still going to get paid for it. So everyone you talk to, you should mention that too. And I'm going to mention that here too. Tell all about, and I'll elaborate on this later. Boom, tell everybody about the group. So, and that's how we use this for websites. How do we do it for answering services? Well, we don't say this AI voice because it's going to help you with, here's the same thing. here's the same thing in simple terms. We build, well, I wrote this last week. I forgot to change this part up here. I'll change this part later. Disregard that. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. I got to delete that. Let me do that now. Okay. We provide a custom AI answering service that answers calls when you can't, to answer questions, schedule appointments, and provide service to customers who are considering hiring you. And here's the sound bites. Are you tired of losing a new customer because you can't track them down after they leave a message? That's their pain, right? Well, we know how it feels. And then you could mention, we've been doing this since 2012. Of course, AI is new, right? I haven't been doing AI since 2012. But are you tired of losing a new customer because you can't track them down after they leave a message? That's their pain. Well, we know how it feels. Get an AI answering service to help callers when they need it. That's tossing them the rope. They're in the hole. You're tossing them the rope to pull them out of the hole. And you'll get more jobs to provide better service. That's the transformation. So you never have to play phone tag again, right? Some of these contractors, and Lillian has been, and I imagine Lillian and Peace, because they kind of work together a little bit, has been doing really well getting responses from people telling them about the AI website and not the website, the AI answering service. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But a lot of these contractors, they work hard, right? They go out in the field. They're out there from 8 in the morning, sometimes till 6, 7 o'clock at night, working hard physically. Now, granted, some of the bigger companies, the owner might not, he probably isn't climbing the trees himself, but he did at one point. But either way, these guys work hard, all of them. They come back. I was a roofer for a few years. It is the hardest work I've ever done in my life. And these guys get home, the last thing they want to do at night is start returning phone calls from messages during the day. And it's a frustrating time because they call someone, hi, you called about a roof, and the answer is, well, we talked to somebody else and I'm good for now, right? So I already found someone else. And that roofer's like, damn it, I paid for an ad. He called me, then he called somebody else. So I paid to get that guy to call me and nobody answered the phone. That's his pain, right? That's the pain. Tired of losing a new customer because now he tries calling these people back and he can't get them on the phone. They ghost him. And believe me, I know what that feels like, trying to call these people back, right? So, and again, go watch Donald's video here. It's good. But are you tired of losing a new customer because you can't track? And if I post this, I'll put it in the description. Are you tired of losing customers because you can't track them down after you get their message? That's their pain. We know how it feels. Get an AI answering service to help callers when they need it. You'll get more jobs, provide a better service, and you'll never have to play phone tag again, or whatever. You could craft these yourself depending on the customer, but use these when you're reaching out to people. You're sending a cold DM. Somebody responds to you from a cold email or a cold DM, and your response could be something like, and it's a little different in every discussion, right? But I see, I see you made a comment on a Facebook group about chasing people down, right? Remind them of their pain. I know how it feels, or we know how it feels because we've been doing this since 2012. You should get it, and then you can almost just copy it from here, right? But solve the problem. Tell them how that's solving the problem and the transformation work together, right? It's kind of like it could be one comment, one statement. This could be one statement. Get an AI answering service to help your callers when they need it. That way you'll get more jobs and provide a better service. Because again, the guy isn't laying in bed in the morning thinking, oh man, if I only had an AI answering service, my business would run so much smoother. He's thinking, oh my God, I'm so tired of calling people back every morning before I go to work, trying to get these guys on the phone just to see if they still need us, right? Don't talk about the little bits of what we provide. Talk about what it does for them and what the transformation is in their lives. So, okay. If anyone has any questions about that, just speak up or put it in the chat. Let's see if there's anything in the chat. Good. Okay, AI demos. I mentioned a bit that the girls are getting positive responses from people, mentioning, talking to them about the AI, the voice AI. They haven't really moved over to the website. They've moved over. They've dug in on the voice AI, and lately they've been getting people responding, saying, "Well, tell me how it works," or how much is it? Or one, I've done this before and it didn't work for me. And our response to them was, "Well, tell us about it. Why didn't it work for you? Was it not given the right answers? Or something like that." Whenever someone gives you an objection, you want to ask questions about that objection. So someone says, well, and you could just turn their words around, right? Here's a strategy. Someone says, well, I thought it was too expensive. And you say, with a question mark at the end, you thought it was too expensive? With a question mark. It's exactly what they said to you, and you ask the same question right back to them, right? I don't really want to look at it. I'm not really interested in AI. And you just put a question mark at the end. You're not really interested in AI? Question mark. You want them to talk about it, right? You want to get them talking about their objection. And because their objection might be, yeah, because I'm not paying $1,000 a month for a voice AI. Well, our voice AI isn't $1,000 a month. But it's a good way to find out what someone is really thinking. So, even if they say, I'm not interested, you're not interested? Question mark, right? And that's what I would do face to face. Someone says, I'm not interested. I say, you're not interested? You want to get them to talk, because they know I'm not interested because I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and my mind is on that. Well, it has nothing to do with the product. Mike, I would come back with, well, how about I'll call you in 2 weeks? Oh, okay, that might work. You see what I mean? When someone gives you an objection, put a question mark at the end and ask them the same question back. But anyway, so like I said, the girls have been doing a good job getting some attention, getting people to reply. And maybe I'll ask them, well, you're here. Maybe you guys can post like what you're opening, maybe create a post in the group and copy and paste a couple of, what you're saying up first, your outreach. And they may have found a good little niche that's pretty responsive, but I won't tell anyone what it is unless they want to. We'll see. Which brings me to, and I'll talk about that now. The two core things that we're not doing anywhere near enough of is me making 4-minute videos for you guys to send to people, and sending out enough AI demos. And I want, not all of you. The girl Lillian has been coming back to me a lot with people she's got interested. She's probably made 20 AI demos, and then she sends them to people over and over again. And the two things I really want you guys to focus on more is getting those AI demos into people's hands, getting it in front of people. If somebody gives you the slightest little, well, now this is remember, we kind of have two directions now, right? We sell the interactive websites, we sell the AI answering service. You don't want to send them the AI demo if they don't have a website and you're pitching them on a website. Don't go with the demo, right? You go with let us build your website so you can look at it, and once you see it, then we can talk about if you want to keep it or not. But with the voice, the answering service, and I really think there's a huge niche just for this AI answering service, guys. In a year, everybody's gonna, maybe not a year, in 3 years, every business is gonna have an AI answering their phones. It's kind of like the internet. When the internet first came out, all the old timers were against it. No, it's a fad. I'm not going online. The internet's a fad. I had people tell me the internet's a fad. It won't be here in 5 years. Well, the internet is like life for some people. They need the internet as bad as they need blood, right? But so don't slack on just the voice AI. right? But call it an AI answering service or an AI answering machine. But if you're talking to people about the AI answering machine, uh, make sure to get that demo into their hands. If there's the slightest bit of interest, you want me to send them a 3 or 4 minute video that explains to them, it shows their logo, it shows their web page. I talk to their or a similar AI, so if they're a roofer, I'll send them a roofing demo. But people don't know how good it is. Even I called ours the other day, the one on our website, and I talked to it. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. A year ago, it sucked. And you all know the story where I started selling voice AI and it was horrible. And I sold it to clients and it was bad. And they complained and I had to give money back and I had to cancel clients. It is great now. Every company needs this. So maybe look for little obscure niches that you can get this thing into their hands. But $300 for these companies is nothing if they save one job. And this will save so many more jobs, so many more headaches, so many more return calls, so many phone tags. But anyway, talk about that. Get the AI demo into their hands. And you don't have to make a separate one for every company, right? Like, for example, Lillian made I'm not going to say the niche because it's kind of like their little corner, but they made one and sent it to a customer a few days ago. And all you got to do now to send it for me to make another video is change the logo and use the same one. Send them the same one. And you could then just tell me. So once you make one demo, let's say you make a demo for guys that replace garage floors. They put those high quality rubber garage floors in people's garages. Once you make one of those demos, just send the same one to everybody. You don't even have to change the logo. Here's one we made for another company. Check it out. It's a little, yours will be better because it'll be customized to your business, but play with it, talk to it a little bit. When you get somebody taking action, they're so much closer to a sale. So the two things you guys need to do more if you're selling the websites is, if you're selling the AI answering service, is get those demos into their hands along with a 3 to 5 minute video. Now, if you're talking to somebody about a website and they're not interested in a website and they say, no, I'm not interested. Thanks for talking to me. Whatever, you have a little conversation. You got to pivot to the website before you tell them goodbye, right? Oh, by the way, to the AI answering service. Oh, okay, well, maybe you're not interested in that, but do you miss a lot of calls? We also have an AI answering service. If you're selling the AI answering service and they say no, mention the website briefly. Well, how about an interactive website? That's the two things that we do. If you're selling the websites and they say no, then you got to talk about the AI answering service before you let them go. And then everybody you should be telling about the free group as they walk out the door, and maybe we'll get them later. So that brings me down to, I know I'm going out of order. I am making an order form for this video. I'm going to create a page. I didn't do it. I'll do it today, I promise. When you have a good conversation with somebody, anybody, you should say, unless it's like, well, that's not a good conversation. If you have a decent conversation with anyone about either the websites or the video, I need to make them a 3 or 4 minute video and send it to them. And it's like 4 minutes. It shows me talking to the AI, and we send a link with the AI in there. You all know what it is. I've talked about these so many times, but I am going to create a form. So when you get somebody, if there's any interest, the slightest interest, they ask you any question, the next step is to send them this video, not to try to talk them into buying something. Send them the video. Make me work. Make me make these videos. They're good. And then you send them the video and wait for a response. Okay, so I'll be putting that up. So let me go back to where I was. I was talking about that and the girl audits. I put who, but the guys, it's so funny. The guys, the girls, and I like to call it Halal's group. It's not really. I guess maybe it's Halal's group. Yeah, I guess that's a good thing, good way to put it. But Halal's group, the Discord group. These are guys that are on Discord. They work together. I talk to them every day on Discord instead of maybe we should use this more, but because we could all kind of learn from the same things. But they're going to be sending audits to people. And let me show you guys an audit. How would I do this? Hold on. The heck? Oh, here. You can't see what I'm doing now. Hold on a second. I'll switch what I'm sharing here. Is it honor wash? Yeah, hold on. Now let me switch my sharing. Share. Okay, you guys should be able to see this audit. It's a marketing audit report, and we're testing this. The guys are sending 20 of these blind. And if any of you want to try these for something, let me know. Now, this is what you wouldn't send them this if you're selling AI answering services. If you're selling the voice AI. This is what you'd send them to go with a website. And it tells about the company. This is a company that I just picked at random. Honor Wash Pressure Washing LLC. Your business at a glance. Overall score 39. Business details 25. Techno. They don't have any tech. Google Business Profile 80%. Listings, reviews 52%. Website performance 0. We're just sending these to. We're not even talking to them first. We're sending these along with a message that says something like, "Hi, I noticed you online, and I made this audit for you. No strings attached. You don't owe me anything. Take a look." And then we'll follow up with them, of course. But it goes through their website and it points things out, right? There's a website missing. Oh my gosh, you're not visible local. Google can't find you. If anyone wants to take a look at this, send me a message and I'll send it to you. And what does this show them? It shows them they need our review service if it's 52, right? 52%. What clients are saying about you. Website performance. You're hurting your local visibility. You're not getting jobs you could be getting because you don't have a website. Especially now, guys, if they don't have a website, they're not going to be found by they're not going to be found by the SEO, by the AI SEO. They're not going to be found by voice SEO. This is something that nobody talks about this, but voice SEO. When someone asks Siri, find me a plumber, or Alexa, find me a dentist, right? We help with that because of what we do. And here's an SEO analysis. This is pretty good. I wish these were all read. Maybe when you make these reviews, these audits, I could have them do a much larger area. But I'm sure this guy turns red real quick. Oh, great, I got the hiccups. But here it shows their competitors. They have 15 reviews. The guys around them have 73, 123, 324, right? They see this, oh my God, I need more reviews. Well, who could help with that, right? That's the hole he's in. He needs more reviews. We can help him out of that hole. So the reason I'm showing you guys this right now is, I already told you that, is the guys are going to be sending them out. And just to kind of see, hold on, I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. Share, let me change this, go back to here. The guys are sending those out and we'll see how it goes. If any of you guys want some of those, or there's a certain client or something, and again, this is for the website clients, not the AI clients. But we'll report on how that works, right? I also want to mention again, I've mentioned this a lot. Every day, people are on Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, looking for a website. Probably 1,000 people a day, maybe not 1,000, maybe 1,000, I don't know. If you want to create a Fiverr post selling our interactive websites, do it. There's nothing better than someone, all of a sudden you get an email that says, so-and-so wants you to do their work without you doing anything. And I've talked about this before too, but there's Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, Guru.com, and I'm sure you guys know more. And I know it costs a few bucks to post on some of these. Like I think Upwork, if you want to send a bid, it costs a few dollars. But Fiverr, I don't think it's free, right? You know, for you to post on Fiverr. Again, yeah, you get a job, you got to send them a percentage, but who cares, right? So post on Fiverr, guys. At least Fiverr. Create things. Now, I created a page here. You know, we always had our when we used to do totally free websites. What a disaster. I'm still licking my wounds. But when you're talking to somebody about the website, remember your pre-close that you're going to do is, well, let us go ahead and make you a website. Don't worry about everything right now. Here's why you need it. You know, it's going to help you with this, this, and this. Like tell them the hole they're in. It's going to pull you out of that hole, not having enough customers, because there's so much that a website does. But forget that for now. Let's just build you one and let you take a good look at it, and then you can talk to Nick later and figure it out or whatever, right? But and look, I use that same formula, right? To go back to the sound bites. Do you worry about this? We know how it feels. Here's the hole we're going to pull you out of, right? But it's right here. Have you ever worried about getting jobs? We know how you feel. Get an interactive living website and we'll help you be found more often. So you can worry less about finding jobs. And then I got my favorite video here. You know, I like those videos, but want to see how your new website will look? Complete the form below and we'll build your homepage as a model. I'm only going to build the homepage for now. I'm not building a huge website. Now, when the people get an interactive website, the free ones, I was building 4 pages. We're going to build them like 8 or 10 pages when they get an interactive website. And then they get a new page every week. And I think you guys know that. But so at the end of the first year, you guys are going to have 60 pages on your website. So every week we post on their Google profile to help them get found in the 3-pack, and we add a new page to their website. No obligation, no strings attached, no credit card needed. Keep your wallet in your pocket. All purchases come with an unlimited 30-day guarantee. Questions, want to talk first, send me an email. Oh, I need to put a button up here that they can schedule an appointment. But complete the form below now and we'll get to work. There's never an obligation. And here's the things that they put, you know, their name, company name, current website if they have one, you know, their location, list your services, special requests. Do you have a logo? Upload your logo if you have one. What colors do you like? Did someone refer you? That's how I tie them to you, right? So there. But that'll be done. And so you can start giving that out now. That's at aisprinkle.com/interactive demo. So take a note. 3 to 4 minute video. I talked about that. I'm going to create an order form today for the 3 or 4 minute videos. That's like the staple of how we sell, guys. Get somebody with the slightest little bit of interest and let me make them a video. So important, that video. It'll let them see the AI. It'll let me explain to them the holes that we'll be pulling them out of by getting an interactive website. Facebook group review. The hell was I talking? Oh, some of you guys, if you're finding yourself getting in a jam, spamming, like you're getting Instagram warned or suspended, and you're just sending too many messages. Do the Facebook group way, because you send a lot less messages that way, and they're the people that respond to you. And if you go to Classroom, let me go a different way here. Oh, yeah, I talked about these already, the demos. Hold on. This is what I want. If you go to Classroom, oops, yeah. Wait, in the wrong place still. Marketing outreach. And you go down to selling with groups, wherever it is. Selling to groups. I think this is it. Oh, this is yeah. Oh, this is selling. This isn't really selling to groups. It's selling to many. Hold on, I need to relabel that. But I should have opened this in advance. Leads from social media groups. Here it is. Here's a video showing exactly how to do it. Here's one strategy. And then I just added a new strategy down here that I found online the other day that was really good. And it takes you from beginning to end. You could even set up a new profile and do this with a brand new profile instead of using your profile if you want. But if you're careful, you should be okay. But set up a profile. This is what to put on your profile. But here, find and join 5 to 10 industry Facebook groups by searching niche owners in Facebook. So plumbing company owners, gutter repair owners, dog groomer owners. Try to find private groups. They're so much better than public groups or spam fests. You won't get very far. Find a private group that has at least like 5 or at least like 10 posts a day. So a private group with a lot of posts a day. Answer the questions honestly when you join. It's going to ask you, what kind of plumber are you? Well, I work with plumbers. Be honest, right? Because the owner of the group is the guy he's the gatekeeper, right? He's the guy that either lets your posts go through or not go through. But you're not really going to post a lot. Here's what you're going to do. You're just going to respond. Just join like 10 groups and then comment on 2 or 3 groups a day in the group, 2 or 3 posts a day in the group. And I can make a separate video for this if anyone wants me to, let me know. But so you're going to join the group, and then you're just going to get people to see you. You're not going to at all talk about what you do in the group. You're not going to pitch anything in the group. You're just going to make comments. Like I was doing this yesterday, and somebody posted, what's the example? Someone posted, on the outside of a house, there's like the electrical stuff, there's electrical panels, and there's like tubes coming out for your plumbing. On the side of a house, there's all kinds of like mechanical stuff, right? Meters and stuff. Well, this company built things that cover those, that hide them to make your house look a little neater, right? It hides all that mechanical crap on the outside of your house. And I just commented, wow, this is a service I've never heard of before. And then the guy came back and commented. Or there was a group, it was college painters or college junk removal or college something. My comment on that post, it's a post they made, was, are you guys doing this year round, or during the school year, do you take a break, right? So join around 10 groups, just comment on 2 or 3 posts a day to get your name seen a little bit. And then anytime someone responds to you, like when the college company owner responded, he said, no, we do this year round, but we could do a lot more work in the summer. I friended him. right? So it's a natural progression. I asked him a question, he answered me. Now he sees a friend request from me, and he's like, "Oh, okay, that's the guy I talked to," right? I mean, just you could just read this and follow it on your own. But send 10 or 15 friend requests a day to people you've interacted. Keep posting on your, on your own feed, your profile, right? This avoids spam flags and builds familiarity before you pitch anything. Send a no pitch opener. When someone accepts you as a friend, just send them a little casual thing. Hey, thanks for the ad. How's business been? Or something like that, right? Run the 4-stage conversation. That's a light opening, right? Hey, Mike, thanks for the ad. How's business been? Then ask a question, something about this business. And then basically you're going to follow these steps. And if somebody mentions they're in a hole, there's a little problem, or, if you send somebody, how's business been? And they're like, well, it could be better, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe that opens the door for you to then mention what we do, right? You're waiting for the bridge. That's a question that surfaces their problem. And then, once they've said, well, it could be better, but I have a problem with this, you go back with, a low commitment ask. I can probably help with that. Do you want me to walk you through how your kind of shops sell those extra cars, or whatever it is, right? The example he uses here is cars. But then just spend like a half hour a day doing this. And eventually you're going to start getting sales coming to you through that. And here's the principles here, right? Never pitch in the DMs. When they talk to me or when I send them a video, that's when the selling happens, not in your conversation. You're asking questions like one business owner talking to another. You're not looking for an opening. Just let it be natural. Let the problem surface on its own. If it doesn't, they're not a good fit for a client. Don't force it. But what do? You mentioned our group later. Oh, by the way, I'm in a group of contract, and for you guys, like, I got to tell people I own the group, and it makes them skeptical. For you guys, when you send somebody to the school group, not the school group we're in now, the contractor group, school.com/4 contractors, right? You get them in there, right? Just mention, oh, by the way, I'm in a group that it's all contractors. We talk about stuff. We help each other. There's videos in there. There's courses in there. It's at school.com/4 contractors, right? So don't force it. If you don't pitch, you don't have a failed pitch. It helps you with your morale. But go through this later, guys. Go in here and look at this. If this is what you want to do, if you want to start, maybe, it's not a bad idea to take a half hour a day and try this. This guy's built his whole business on this, and he sits there for 7-8 hours a day doing it. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because we're almost at time. And then this here, the free 30-day AI answering service. I know I briefly mentioned this, but if you've got someone interested in the answering service, and you want to give it to them for free, let's do it. I'll make them a video. I'll send them the video. That's the sequence, though. Let them watch the video that I make for them first. Let them reply to the video, see what they say. If you think it will help you get the deal, we'll give it to them for free for a month. Tell them, keep your credit card in your pocket. Let us set you up with the AI answering service now. You could try it free for a month. At the end of the month, we'll talk. I'll do it. Let's get our foot in the door, right? That might be the magic pill, because remember, we have to do something that makes us stand out. There's so many people, AI makes it easy to deliver product. It also makes it easy to spam. And these poor guys, man, my email as an agency owner every day, I get probably 10 pitches a day, from people. And they don't even know who I am. Some of these, I get emails every day trying to sell me voice AI. I get emails every day, let me help you improve your website, or let me build your website. I couldn't find your website. I'll build it for free and then let you take a look at it. I get those all day long. And I respond to these people. I say, do you know what I do for a living? And I send it back to them, and they never reply. But poor people, they're hearing about this stuff everywhere. Well, maybe if you're the guy that gives it to them for free. And I got a feeling now Lillian and Peace are probably going to start giving these away all day long. But I don't care. Let's do what we can to create a real relationship with these people. And so if you think it'll help, let's give people the answering service for 30 days. I don't care. I'll pay for it. Yeah, and the way basically they get 1,000, and I might cut this down later, but they get 1,000 calls for free, and then there's a couple pennies a call after that. Because if we get a company that gets 500 calls a day, that's going to add up, right? Because I have to pay for every AI call. Every AI call that our clients get, I pay for, and I don't charge them at this point. The first 1,000 is free. I've never seen anybody go over 1,000, so I've never even charged a customer for AI. But anyway, that's all I got. I'm actually early for a change. I'll wait a couple seconds to see if any of you guys have any questions. And like I said today, I will make a form today that you guys can fill out to get the video, to get a video made for me, because it's kind of hard through DMs and stuff, because I get clients mixed up. Sometimes, you'll tell me about 2 or 3 clients and I get them mixed up, and then anyway, yeah, that's it. Oh, but remember the contest, guys, that goes through the end of the month. I'll go back here. Contest. Ooh, where is it? Where'd it go? Contest. Ooh, take Nick's money for the rest of July. You guys got about another 10 days, 9 days. Every meeting makes you extra money. Every sale does too. Every meeting you set with me that the prospect shows up to makes you, and I'm talking to one at 11 o'clock today, by the way. Unicorn, junkie corn. I'm talking to the junkie corn guy today at 11. So at least you know. Anyway, every meeting you set with me that the prospect attends makes you $25. Line them up, boys and girls. Let's knock them down. In addition, every second sale we close out of these meetings gets you a 75% commission instead of 40. So as long as I talk to them this month, I'll count this like if we close them next month, I'll count it. So any meeting I have with anyone this month, the second sale. So you'd have to give me 2 meetings in the next 10 days with somebody, and you'd make $50 just for the meetings from those. And then the second one we close makes you 75% commission, as long as they're here and as long as you're here. So, so you'd make $222 a month on anyone. And the cool thing about, I'm switching gears here again, but our 2 main products, AI answering machine, interactive websites, either one's $297 a month. If they want both, it's $497 a month. So you don't have to sweat about prices. $297, $497. $497 gets them both. $297 gets them one. So, so take Nick's money, contest. Ooh, that's it. I love you guys. I enjoy talking to you guys. I pray for you guys. Doesn't look like anyone has any questions, so